Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're Jameson with Games. Happy Sunday, folks. It is going to be, what is it? Day 10, 10th session of our Disco Elysium playthrough. I'm excited. You're excited. I do not have much time today. Got a hard stop for some tabletop role-playing with friends this evening. And so I think that's already enough ado. I'm going to click play and I'm going to launch this game. And here she comes. Let me go down and put it on the screen for all to see. And then I'll make my own screen more appealing to look at for myself. And then there's not all that much left to do. You can see I'm looking ahead to Greg and James beat him up because I dug out my Wii U. We're going to go in and play... No, hold on a second. I'm being called. Excuse me. Brief intermission. Hang tight, gang. All right. Okay. Here we go. Now we're getting started. So, when last we left our hero wouldn't be the right word. Our guy, Harry. He and Lieutenant Kitsuragi were making their way towards the church. We're down the coastline. We have been given the key to the church. And so I think that's what we're doing. Hold on. Let's remind me. What are my active new things? Get a cell, talk about our friends, maybe. Perhaps if I help them start a nightclub by going to the church. Sync signs with the Noid. I don't know. Might just want to avoid the Noid. That's how I was raised as a millennial. It's always been my belief that you should avoid the Noid if possible. Help the Ravers start a nightclub. That's the look into the church, where there might be a half-man, half-crab being that is climbing the walls. Or maybe not. Solve the egghead puzzle. I don't know. Inspect the traps. Right. On behalf of the cryptozoologist, we could check the traps. I don't know that I care much about getting that done for him because it's a very silly thing that he's doing. But we do have to go around and see if we can find a potential sniper spot where perhaps the shooting of our murder victim occurred from a distance. So perhaps in the course of doing that, we can look at the traps. We'll see. My horrific necktie wants me to buy spirits, but I don't know what kind of... If those are the kind of spirits that you drink, I'm trying not to do that. Okay. So, where exactly is the church? I don't know. Had to take a week off last week. The church is where we are. It's a big church. Those will be the telltale signs together. The fact that it is a church, and the fact that we're right beside it already. I know I have the key to the church. I remember that much about last time. So, Lieutenant, let's go. Is this the church? Looks churchy.
Heavy
Yes.
wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
It'd be quite a thing if there is a man crab. We had to fight a
The lock
crab
turns
monster in here.
easily. You hear a click as the
Be a
shackle
wild shift in tone for this game.
Let's go.
You know what? Hold on a second. Degrade my view for a moment. It was suggested to me that perhaps I could get the levels a bit better for the voice acting. But I'd need to see the monitor to have a sense of how it's going.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. Its black holes and dusty machines.
Turn it up a little. I think this is probably good. Who knows? Quiet chat so far today, which is fine. Whether that's because I'm just here talking to myself, don't tell me if I am, because I don't feel weird. Or because just people are lurking. That's all good. You do you, baby. I can have fun playing Disco Elysium, no matter what. And the pretense that there are other people viewing makes it okay for me to talk out loud to a video game that I'm playing without feeling like I'm being weird. Ooh.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
This is not the heart of the city. Ooh. We get some camera work. Strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Ever since Lieutenant Kim commented on the fact that I accidentally ran a few times on the first day, I've been too self-conscious to run. Grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Feels like it's trying to become one with the church. I do not hear the clicker-clack of crabman legs, but he could just be perched upside down on the ceiling waiting to drop. More of the forked lightning pattern. Is this a projector screen? Blackboard, filled with complex equations. They look recent. Interesting. A portable Harmon Welshi tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. I guess going through this big smashed wall or something seems like the way to go, but let's look everywhere else first. Ooh, free shoes. We'll check this area before we move on. Bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. All right, careful, team.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore.
We've
Maybe
always
if you
lived
were
in the
to
church.
stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
I don't know. I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums.
There is a faint humming.
It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow. If not blotted out, outright. Truly unusual.
That is unusual.
You can hardly hear your own breathing.
I'm not going to yell, but I'll stomp my feet, clap my hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
All right, sorry if I startle you, Lieutenant, but I'm just going to yell.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
What's going on here?
It's unnerving.
It is unnerving. Kim, what's going on here? You getting these bad vibes?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Not really. It's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is.
I mean, whatever it is, if it's both of us, is real. There's something happening.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
42% chance of getting a firm visual on Crabman. It's a red check. Let the dice fall where they may. I failed. But that does heal my health. Some more camera work.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
What's the darkness like?
Filled with
It's like
vague
strange
shapes
darkness?
of woodwork. The sense of a great height.
Can I make out anything?
There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented
Ugh.
as you see dark and more dark rising.
Officer, what are you looking at?
He follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you're seeing. I'm just gonna give a good firm blink. Oh. Oh.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes.
Does not look like a crab man, but I'm guessing this is what was mistaken for a crab man, I would wager.
Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Could be. Excuse me, with the RCM?
Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently.
Well, it's very poetic, Harry's inner monologue, but this definitely looks more like a man than like an animated building.
The crab man.
Yes, for sure. Hey. Someone there?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
I'm getting a real Tiago vibe off this guy.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right. You come to the right place.
Hey, come on now. I'm like 2 days sober. Right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Good question.
I'm
Ken.
put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality.
Just trust me, Lieutenant. I always have a good feel for weird
Hey,
stuff.
and what was that about? The bottle again?
Yeah,
You haven't even drank that much lately.
that's right.
Lay off it already. Shish.
Yeah, look, man. I got a bit of a problem. It's been getting out of hand lately, but...
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it.
Oh, no. I'm very much actually in touch with my suffering.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
Can you not just give me credit for my days of sobriety?
You know,
here?
actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Kim, have you seen me take a drink since Monday afternoon 2 days ago? No.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
Yeah, okay. Look, sure. You have a point.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
That's not the thing I thought you had a point about. Just the alcohol. His voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
Oh, I hear Abra meowing, and I'm realizing she needs to have her lunch. Hang tight, gang. I'll be right back with you. Okay. Kitty cat fed. And now without interruption, surely. We'll continue. He sways gently on the beams, waiting for me to take it all in.
This mother of silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with.
Alright, look. Let me just cut to the chase with you. You know there's some kids, some ravers. They want to turn this place into a nightclub? I suppose that's the opposite of silence.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
They think you're a crab man. So yes. But do they have reason to be scared of you?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Anymore?
Though he used to, a long time ago.
That was a half-light check, but it seems like we should have been able to do that part with logic. Clear implication if I don't harm anyone anymore. Alright, so, I mean, what do you think? Are you into this nightclub idea?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
Okay. Okay.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Out of curiosity, you know where the other spooker is? Whoever set up all these machines?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
So wait, there is another person living in the church, and it's a viejita?
No. I just call her viejita because of her
Viejita,
clothes.
sorry. I'm always
She's
hitting those
actually
J's wrong.
quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Oh, believe me. As Harry Dubois, I know that because I'm much younger than the piece of shit I look like. As James playing this game, I'm on the opposite end of that.
Wait, what if it's Ruby?
What if it's Ruby? Good suggestion, Brain.
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something?
Lieutenant seems to be thinking the same. Takes out his little notebook.
You mean like a fugitive?
He glances at the abandoned radio computer on the other side of the nave, pulsing with light. Then he shakes his head.
No, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cared much about authority or anything else for that matter. Maybe only about her machines.
I see.
Lieutenant
Where
seems
is she now?
contented with that answer.
I told you, Holmes. I don't know.
How can you not know when you both live here in the same one church?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just
Right.
see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
Nothing else you can tell me about her? How she looks, what she does, who she is? Is how I would have phrased that.
I'm
last bit.
afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs.
Or search through her radio computer.
All right. Okay then. I mean, thanks. Hey, it's good to meet you, Crab Man. Do we have a free scarf over here? Is this a scarf? A Mesk Banger's silk scarf ups your pain threshold. We'll take it. Why not? Figure drawn in frost on the window, depicting a deer. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. But I get the impression the deer was a crafted image. A cracked pane of glass, colorful. So wait. I mean, I'm not going to take off my horrible necktie. That's my signature. Even if I gave away my signature hat. Maybe we'll find another hat here. I don't know. Can we pathfind our way up to all this stuff? Yes. Spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. A little bit of money on the ground. Oh. Lieutenant Path found his way correctly. I'll catch up to him. Boom. It's for the needy. So I can't. Hey, Mesk Bangers Red Brogues. Those will supercharge my already impressive empathy. I think I'll stick for now to my composure shoes that fulfill my disco. But you know, I mean, these are pretty banging ass shoes too. I don't want to put on prescription lenses that are going to hurt my eyes, or sunglasses that are going to make me worse at figuring stuff out. Right now, I'm content with my outfit, but I've got some new options, so that's cool. I have 5 skill points right now. Okay, what would this wasteland of reality thought do for me? You should look at all these. So brought to your attention, you're an alcoholic. It's a sickness. It's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life. Your booze-filled belly dragging on the ground. Your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive. Your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right. Anything's better than this. Even bone-dry reality itself. Maybe you can quit? Let's see. It's -2 to my overall physical instrument? Or is that specifically to my ability to not have insomnia? I mean, insomnia is not a specific thing. Physical instrument, right here. -2. That seems rough. That seems like a rough thing to take down to 0. Then again, I've not relied on my physical instrument. What are my other options? The Wompty Dompty Dom Center. This is kind of just silly, I think. Okay, what about Jamais Vu de Realization? This feels like the most important of all the thoughts. There's no temporary research bonus. All right, you know what? Let's do it. Spend a skill point, because I've got so many of them. And let's internalize derealization. See what happens. For better or worse. The buzzing in my brain is underway. I'm thinking. Oh, good. We can come down this way. So what's this? Safe here?
A machine stands.
It's the
in
mainframe.
corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Okay.
Another radio computer.
Says the
And this
lieutenant,
time it's
stepping
already
closer.
turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
Sure, but if it's just one woman setting the traps, the alarm goes off, she's gonna run out. What? I didn't take the -2 physical instrument one. I think together we could handle ourselves, Lieutenant.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yeah, but I don't know. This machine looks just like the one in the Doom commercial area, eh?
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework. Careful not to touch anything. I don't know. Just let me investigate it.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Let's look inside the compartment.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
See what happens.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver.
Okay.
Oh no, it was already glowing a and now it's also making a sound? It's probably some alien CO-like technology.
Now, let's not freak out here.
The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Lilienne Repeat Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Fortress. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I should answer your question. What's the personal log?
The filament you have inserted into the core.
Right. Yeah, you mean this glowing thing with the tape on it? The log fed to Mar?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Is this the personal log?
I don't know. Maybe.
If you are unsure, could you please take a look?
I could in theory. How?
Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called.
It just says log, Feb to Mar, like February to March. Nothing else.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
That's true, Lieutenant.
Maybe he knows something.
The Lieutenant nods before Tiago. Yeah, I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do.
No. Something, just a person who forgot their password.
Votre accident.
Or didn't know what they were doing.
Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Fortress accident. Like the one in the Doom commercial area?
I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Well, that checks out.
Saint-Brun. That's the church. And
Yes,
Rue de
Lieutenant.
Saint-Ghislaine,
Thank you.
That's the Doom commercial area.
I concur, Lieutenant.
Anything else I can help you with?
No thanks. I'm finished with this call.
Sleep well, votre accident.
She says, as her voice disappears into a whirl
The
of static.
machine's keyboard is still
Let's see.
illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print.
Let's see if we can print off a cheat sheet of passwords.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Well, I guess if the lieutenant's intrigued now. Hey, Tiago, do you know the password? He's not going to know the password.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Is that what you call coffee, or are you saying there's no coffee? Because I'll take some coffee if you're offering. I shouldn't be drinking coffee this late. But honestly, what exactly is Harry Dubois doing for himself that is what he should be doing? Have you by any chance heard the Vieta say her password to the radio computer?
Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I'm just kind of curious about what's on her computer. It might pertain to a murder investigation. Yeah. You know what? Look, I just get these weird hunches sometimes. I think like maybe it might help with this investigation.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
Do I get a good feeling that he's telling the truth?
That is true. But what comes after death?
Well, let's not think about that too much.
Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when I hear it.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
I think we're done here, essay.
Figure crawls off into the darkness above.
That was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, no kidding, Lieutenant.
However, I'm still not sure whether we'll find our suspect here.
I'm certainly not sure either, but we gotta look. Let's see if the radio computer holds any information before we go through here.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing
Bing,
the
bing.
speaker comes to life.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brun.
Hey.
This is the East Lilienne Repeat Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Heck yeah, let's try this again. I think I might have the password.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife, death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament.
Absolutely.
Votre accident, is there anything else I can do for you today?
Well, I mean, tell me a little about yourself. Are you a machine? Some kind of cyborg?
Yes,
person?
I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
Well, it's nice.
She repeats password. Programming people are paranoid.
Okay. But where are you? How do you know where I am? Is that a radio computer thing?
I work as a repeater at the East Interlude repeater station. It's my job to know where you are, votre accident.
Oh, of course. Right. I should have relied on my innate understanding of radio computer infrastructure.
As
And
for
networks.
Me, well, I
Static.
am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
You know what? For as little as I know about the radio computer network, that is exactly how I was picturing your workspace.
Doesn't it get lonely? Sitting there all by yourself?
Do you get lonely doing this? Or are the staticky conversations enough human contact?
Lonely?
For the first time, you hear a chuckle through the
Why
rustle
would
of
it
static.
get lonely? I get to talk all day to people like you over a
There's a lot to be said for a
warm
warm
tea.
cup of tea. On that note, I can get a little bit more out of my little pot here. Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's why she does this.
Now,
Yeah.
please tell me if there's anything else I can do for you for Tres Accident.
No, thanks, but I'm done. I hope that I brightened your day a little while we chatted.
Sleep well for Tres Accident.
I never do.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated.
Friend.
The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
I wonder.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in.
Relaxing wayfarer. Even on a day where none of the regulars or anybody else has shown up. Or if they have, they're just lurking. I still already have all the best viewers I want. Don't need yours. Have fun in the cornfield. Wait, oh no. I typed your stupid name wrong. Relaxing wayfarer. Boom. You're gone forever. Feels good. All right.
The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
What do you think? There's going to be a connection here?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
His eyes were wandering to the various machines while he said that. I can't help it, Lieutenant.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be
Nope.
interesting.
Nope. Third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking Esca series, something advanced.
Lieutenant, why do you think this mysterious Vieta, who's not a Vieta, would need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting with his boot. Well, I don't know.
8th of
Maybe that's
February,
explained in the fourth
51.
entry.
Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. Artists, yet again. Harassing citizens, stealing badges. occupying public spaces with installations like the one here. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
A data loss.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying.
Yeah, me either. This is not
Something about the backup data.
doesn't seem like great use of our time, and yet here I am,
Everyone thought it was the
sucked
author's
into
fault.
it.
Let's just keep reading.
Yeah. Artists, programmers, Lexi. Any
I
idea who
think
these people are?
worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
Right, oh. 5th entry.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder.
Could be something useful, you never know.
Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
That's why you're intrigued? I was wondering if she noticed anything related to the murder, like a sniper nest.
25th of February.
I guess I'm just a little more
51.
serious than you, Lieutenant.
I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss.
I'm
but
just
nothing.
teasing, Lieutenant.
Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
Lieutenant looks to his right, toward the silence. I think it's to his left, but okay.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings
Oh, no.
confirm that
He meant
the
in the middle
Swallow
of this.
is real,
Okay.
and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music.
I like that
One
they're
year
disco
song
men.
over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good. I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
So that must have been a cell.
Girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Oh ho. Well, maybe this will help us solve our mystery. Oh, wow. Okay.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you. She holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
Yeah, we're looking for a suspect in a murder investigation. Seemed like a place where they might hide.
No one's hiding here.
Really? Not even Tiago? She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
I haven't.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
I agree with you, Lieutenant. Does that just happen instantly?
What is it?
Boone is still hunched over by the keyboard, gently illuminated by the purring machine. I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
Does not look like a big loss to her. Are you the lead programmer on Real Untethered by any chance?
Yes. Or...
She thinks to herself.
No, not anymore. That project is dead.
Oh.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
So who are you now? You know, what you doing here in the church?
I am Soona Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Turns back to the terminal.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
Well, hold on. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Like, especially a woman named Ruby?
What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
Oh, shut up, drama brain. What are you doing with all these machines, if you don't mind my
I
asking?
brought them here. These
Yeah.
are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
I'm not going to touch it, but I'm going to point at the antenna. What do you need the antenna for? Are you broadcasting?
I use the AR-1 as my RAIN prefect processing unit.
Yeah, wait. What?
RAIN prefect, my radio computer.
And that antenna is its processing unit?
Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
She stopped working now. No, not really.
All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
And the AR-1, that's a good antenna?
I guess it is. So far, I've been quite
Stop
satisfied
to think
with
for a
it.
moment.
Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable.
Cool.
But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should
Turns
do
back
some
to the
research
terminal.
before you decide to buy anything. Ask
Yeah.
around, compare the prices. There are many milieux dedicated to that sort of thing.
Absolutely. It's only sensible.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her nerves.
And, yeah, what are you doing here? With the radio computer?
I'm working.
Sure.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light cast in her face.
What I was trying to get at is, like, what are you working on with your radio computer?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
Alright. Well, what about those bowls of water? I couldn't help but notice.
They are connected to my RAIN prefect.
She looks
Whatever
up.
you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Yeah. Try not to touch anything. Next
Great.
question. She dwells back into the glowing terminal. What are you doing in the church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
There's a hint of amusement in her tired eyes. I'm police, ma'am. I love to get the facts.
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
Yeah, I'm a cop. It's my job to ask questions.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
She says, ready to stand her ground. What research,
I'm
though?
looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what?
My thoughts exactly, logic
She's
brain.
looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said.
Right. We did just read her
The
diary.
lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is this hole in the world connected to the data loss you talked about in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here.
She
But
stares
I
at the burnished
suspect it
antenna
might
on a
be
nearby
something
table.
A bit more complicated than that.
So what exactly do you mean with a hole in the world?
Exactly. What does it mean?
There's something frantic
Up
about
to
her
now,
as she locks
it has
gaze
been
with you,
impossible to
eyes
say
shining
what
like
it is
pearls.
because it's impossible to measure nothing. What
Right.
do you think it is?
Right.
What qualities does nothing have?
I don't know.
How do you measure something that does not
Nada
exist?
have these nadas. She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation. She's waiting for my answer.
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Well, I guess if you can't study nothing, you have to study its opposite. The something that's around the nothing.
Exactly.
She
Very
nods.
true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro-transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
She grows silent, staring at her circle of basins. Looks like some ancient ritual.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
You got any idea where it might be located?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
She looks up, eyes trying to pierce the pitch black heights above, but without much success.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
And why there?
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Simple explanations are sometimes the correct ones, man.
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
It's also where Crabman, Tiago, lives.
I know.
You said there was no one else here. You don't think that the Crabman might be playing a role?
No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning.
Okay.
Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
And so your research isn't going well. How come?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space.
So doesn't every trial and subsequent error verify that you've eliminated another possibility?
And I don't have a...
She stops
You know
mid-sentence.
what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
Hey, well, that's all I even want to know about the 2-millimeter hole in the world. Scary sounding hole. For now, at least.
Great. Thanks.
But, okay. So these kids, right? And they're really into anodic dance music. What do you think of anodic dance
What?
music?
I
Squints
hate
her
it.
eyes. Oh, wow, okay. Why, though?
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Right. But if we thought more in a community-minded way, how do you feel about a club for anodic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it?
She looks up, shaking her
I've
head.
got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
What do they want to build, then?
Take a guess, why don't you?
I mean, honestly, I talked to them, they seem pretty passionate about making a nightclub for anodic dance music. It's their dream.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Yes, I know, Lieutenant. All right, well, I'll let you work in peace. What's this? It's not even an
white,
entrance.
Silver and apricot faience. The young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Now. Couldn't be me. All right. Well, I mean, let's go tell the kids whatever. Find out. I guess that what they really want to do probably is sell drugs or something. This has been a pointless distraction from our actual work investigating a murder. We have wasted daylight. I'm sorry, Lieutenant. You know how I am. People have a problem. I just want to help. Oh, I had a thought for a moment, but it's gone. Pretty soon, it's going to be time to go home and sleep. go on to Thursday, when we're gonna have to just come back out here and do more investigating. Yeah, well, it's late.
Hello again.
Myself. Oh, can't talk to her about it. Hey, just saying, hey. Excuse me, Lieutenant. You hang tight out here. You the leader?
Hi again.
Yeah.
So, how are things going?
He looks excited. Tips of his hair, sharp and white. The bleach has consumed almost all of the toothbrush on the mirror in front of him. Well, I mean, about the church. I checked it out.
And? What
Tenses
happened?
up. Well, I talked to the crab man.
Oh, man. Who is he? What did you think?
He seemed okay, to be honest. Very spiritual.
Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
Seems like he's just kind of preaching, praying.
No matter.
Paranoid
Is he
young
gonna
man
be a
rumbles
prob-
gruffly.
Yeah. Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we going to do about him?
As far as I can tell, he's not going to leave. But, you know what, actually, I mean, he told me that he wouldn't mind the nightclub. I don't think he's your problem.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you?
He rubs his jaw.
A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Genuinely, I don't think he cares about you, anybody else. No. Just consider it part of the ambiance, man.
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Yeah, that's right, Noid.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light. Yeah!
Hooray, yes, that's right, Egghead.
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes?
Yeah,
Did you see
so
her?
check this out. I was actually going through her mainframe when she showed up.
A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
I did, and she said that you haven't been completely honest with me about the plans. Why do you think she said that?
Come on, man. Who will you trust? The spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place.
I'm not necessarily filled with trust for any of the parties
Get
here.
down and feel it.
Yeah, Egghead, I'm not really feeling the love.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping.
What things?
Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Yeah, Oda 9. Rocking it or dropping it?
She doesn't like the idea, man. I gotta tell you.
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world.
Drops the hammer
She
back
doesn't
into a
like it at
toolbox.
all.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future of dance and unity? Unity! Dance!
Well, here's the thing. She made it very clear she's not leaving until she finishes her project. She's investigating a hole in the world?
And you can't just evict her?
No. I won't evict her. You don't own that church any more than her. We need to come up with a better solution.
Look at you, honor man.
Yeah, that's right, Noid. At least, the last couple of days.
No,
Trying.
Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her.
Maybe.
If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
Or is it the joy and music of ecstasy that they want to spread? Haha.
The lines in the dark exist. Coexist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music?
I gotta be honest with you, Andre. Quite the opposite. She thinks it sucks.
Egghead cannot believe what she just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not throwing her out, but maybe I can talk her into it.
Excellent. Good luck, my friend.
Alright, well, that's it.
Goodbye, officer.
Catch you later, Andre. I'm sorry, Lieutenant, but we're going back in. The saga of the church isn't over. I promise we'll investigate the murder and try to stop the horrific massacre more later. Once we're done with the saga of the Ravers and the church squatters. Even though it now seems pretty clear that this saga is not going to give us a lead on our murder mystery. Hopefully it doesn't take too much longer to get through these conversations. Too much longer in game time. And maybe we'll get really lucky and quickly stumble upon. Time doesn't really, I don't know if it moves at all.
Yes, what is
When
it?
you're... Okay. So, what if we acknowledge that nobody owns the church? And there's got to be a compromise here. What if you didn't have to leave? What if Andre and the other Raver kids, they want to make it work?
I don't want to make anything work.
She replies, her expression unchanged. Okay, hold on. You don't want to make anything work.
Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
It's not the anodic dance music that's made her bitter.
Yeah.
It's the failure of Fortress Accident.
Have you been embittered by the world because you had big vision for this project and it didn't come through?
That's right. If
Something
we can
strange
get our
shines in her
welfare to
eyes.
happen, I don't want anything to happen. Ever again.
There's not a trace of irony in her voice. She means it.
Well, I like my odds here. 97% chance of persuading her to work with the Ravers.
Easy. When her research
Not
is
even a
done,
good roll.
she can move out.
Listen, about your research. You mentioned earlier it's not going very well. Maybe we can help.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She's disoriented by the offer. But if we helped you finish the project, sorry, Lieutenant, I know. But the Lieutenant will be here while I'm helping. You wouldn't have to live in the church next to the Boom Boom anymore. Just think about it. You know, everybody wins.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery. It touches her hair.
All right. Bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself.
By any chance, is this the filament that you're looking for?
No. That's the production schedule.
Ah.
I don't need it. The right filament memory has offsite copy written on silver tape.
Okay, so what's an offsite copy? What do you need it
It's
for?
a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She points to the glowing cube inside the machine.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament.
Okay, and where's your old workspace?
On Rue de Saint-Ghislain, in the East Delta Commerce Center.
She wipes some hair off her face and sighs.
You might be more familiar with the name Doomed Commercial Area.
Yep.
You could get in through the bookshop on the plaza. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady.
We don't need to get into details here. Where exactly is this offsite copy?
There's this giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. It's there.
Oh.
Don't worry, you can't miss the bear.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's even worse now. It's a corpse stink on it.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying,
Ah. You know what, though? Now that I think about it. When we were at the Ice Bear fridge, not trying to blow your mind here, but we were there. I already found a note, and it said that the off-site copy had been moved to a safer place.
Wait, a note from whom?
She
Did it
freezes.
specify where they took the filament memory?
Said the off-site copy had been taken to a nearby ice cream maker. The note was signed by someone who, Sulizla?
Joyce. Of course. Our project lead, Suliswov Joyce. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copies
Rex
somewhere
Bellator,
safe.
welcome.
And
Happy
fixing
Sunday.
And the Valley of the Heads.
I am, as I am wont to do, getting totally sidetracked from the murder investigation to get involved in the lives of the locals. It is. Not making any progress on the murder investigation. But we're making progress with just arbitrarily helping the locals with their problems. Okay.
Like it would have made a difference. The offside copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous.
She crosses her arms defiantly.
And the heads. I won't even get into the heads.
Exactly. It's not like he's
Millions
getting
of
any
them.
more murdered.
Go
We'll get
find
to
that
it.
copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks.
All right. I'll go look for the off-site copy, probably tomorrow, because it's nighttime.
Thanks.
She thinks for a moment, reaches behind the radio computer, hands you what looks like an oversized pry bar.
And here's my Qualsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offside copy, then you can keep the Qualsund.
Nice.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy to be parting with the Qualsund.
Okay. Well, we'll let you get back to it. And you have a lovely evening here in this cold church. We now have the Qualsund KR+2 multi-tool. It will open locked containers in the world. Okay, so this very well might turn out to come in handy in the investigation, or at the very least, in just messing around in general. Bust into that dumpster where Kuno is hanging out. Okay, so now we don't really have much time left before Lieutenant Kim's going to be like, or before Lieutenant Kizuragi is going to be like, shouldn't we be going home and sleeping so that we can return to our murder investigation tomorrow? And that's fair. But let me just get a sense of the land. Where else can we go? The map's not super helpful in this regard. But, well, if the church is there, I guess over here, there's a Ferris wheel. What if it doesn't seem likely that the sniper killed the murder victim by, like, riding the Ferris wheel and just right at the apex having the shot? Not least because I doubt that the Ferris wheels are running. What is this? What are we looking at here? These rusty gears used to turn the whole machine. Chain trails off into the ocean. So what was this?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing anyway, Lieutenant?
It's military, a service depot of some sort.
That would serve as what?
The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
Think could have been used to take the shot?
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Well, let's step away for a moment. Is the multi-tool applicable here? It didn't say anything like you don't have the tool equipped. But let's find it.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown.
Well, hold on. Let's also confirm that the pry bar won't help. I bet it won't. And then what the heck? Put it all on black.
Worn by elements.
No,
Guards.
let's save it. Maybe in the daytime it's a little bit warmer. Goes up to a 6% because it's not as cold and stretched. Okay. Well, let's see. See if we can find anything else with our dwindling daytime on this Wednesday, this day 3 of our investigation. As for myself, I have like an hour, maybe a little bit more to keep playing. Who knows what could happen or not happen. Cigarette butts, cleaned away under a rock. The brand, 2 materia. Take a mental note, 2 materia. Could be important. What if we're closing in? Someone made a campfire here long ago. For snipering? A rusted broken control box for the radio relay tower. Ladder's too rusty to climb. Sea air is eating away at it. Think. The relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay. Yeah, sort of.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
Well, I don't know.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
Well, I mean, but there's the campfire here.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fire this time of year.
He looks around.
Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out Biddable Prime, was it?
You don't think he climbed the comms tower?
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's
Yeah.
no platform up there to aim from.
Someone was smoking here.
A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Yeah.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to
It's my
any
gut,
other
Lieutenant.
cigarette butts on the coast.
My gut is telling me something. I'm going to gaze across the water towards the whirling.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. It's glowing in the dark night. The lights are on. Glazia must be in there. Looks like she kept her promise not to go out at night anymore.
Or she left the lights on when she went out.
Such a good girl, you think.
The electrochemistry part of my brain never puts a thought that I'm happy with there. All right. Let's look back. Determine where the shot came from. There's an island and the boardwalk. How do we get to an island? I don't know. We were on the boardwalk, but I don't know how. Where on the boardwalk can we have an interaction that verifies whether or not we find things? Do we need to find a boat we can use? Is this one of the traps?
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before.
No, we're back.
Same mesh, same wiring.
Look around.
The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something.
But what?
The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
No point in worrying about the trap that we've just watched them lay. Or really, there's no point in worrying about any of these traps. Boardwalk rises to your south. Your south. To the south of you. Okay. South is bottom left of the screen. Let's get to the boardwalk. Perhaps we can at least knock that spot off. Is this another trap? No. White polo shirt. I'm not going to put on a polo shirt and reduce my famous empathy. My most admirable quality. So I guess the big question is going to be, how do we get to the... Can we get a boat to the island? Is it going to be really cold on Thursday? We can walk over? I don't know. Let's head to the boardwalk. Let me look at the map for a second. Maybe it will be visually clear to me where the island is. I mean, yes. Sure. It's probably not a jumping puzzle where we leap from little rock in the water. From rock to rock. But here's the boardwalk. Let's get up on it and walk around while pressing the tab key a bunch. Well, what's this?
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone.
Who am I going to call? My only friend is right here next to me. We're friends, right, Lieutenant? Would you call me a friend, Lieutenant? What is this? Whatever it is, we don't know. Okay. Well, we're on the boardwalk. I know I've been up here before, so I probably didn't miss anything, but what if I did? It's a fairly large, yeah. What's the moment on the boardwalk where me and the lieutenant can officially rule out that there's any bullet casings anywhere? Well, there's some change up there. Well, let's try to stay focused. Meanwhile, where is this Ferris wheel? We're just going back through a place we've been before. I assume the father and his kid aren't here. Good. I don't think this is anything. And yet. And we can't get back there. Was there a boat right next to a cell? I seem to recall her being by a boat. I'm also trying to keep an eye on the clock, the game clock, while I'm walking. Because I think time only passes through action and conversation. And I guess reading, whether you consider that an action or not. Oh, there's our little fascist buddy. It's not my buddy. So is there more boardwalk? Or did I miss something on the boardwalk? I don't know. Now we're back in Shantytown. Let's forget about that for a minute. And make our way back towards the church. Is it possible to do that without traversing the boardwalk again? I think so. Perhaps I'll have more of a lay of the land after I've tried this. Oh. There's a quick way back up to the boardwalk. But also, what if I just go over here? Every now and then, hit tab to engage my detective sense. See if there's anything worth investigating. Hey, what's this? Yeah, I can't do it from here. There's the church, right? If that's the church, then the possibility of a boat being next to a cell, which I may or may not have seen, can be investigated by just going over here. If it's a boat and it turns out it belongs to them, then I imagine that I need to make them happy before I can take the boat. Or, alternately, I'm entirely imagining that I saw a boat. No? No, this is a prominent boat. But I can't, not from this side. Okay. Ooh, what's this? Can we create a shortcut?
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What do you think, Lieutenant?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
Well,
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
this is convenient. Good work, Lieutenant. I guess I did most of the work there. So, good work, Lieutenant W. Freitor. Referring to myself. Feels like we're gonna have to resume this on Thursday, but who knows? Oh. Back in town. Oh, and I have to mail the fraudulent signatures when I get a chance. Anything we can say to you, ma'am? Any new dialogue options?
The old woman still sits. The buzz of electric lights blends together with the slow rumble of the ocean waves at night.
Hey, ma'am, you're still up?
Yes, I can't really sleep anymore. Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older.
She sloshes the water in the bucket around a bit.
My suggestion is, don't. Don't grow any older than you already are. That's old enough.
Yeah, it's true.
What's troubling your mind?
Not always easy. Very true. And yet, very satisfying when you figure it out. Is there somewhere where someone... you know what? Goodbye. Might as well stay at the Whirling. Oh, hey. Who's this? Somebody new? Or someone I've already spoken to?
Hi, officer.
A woman in a raincoat. This is someone new. Stands on the quay. Considering an overturned boat. A sword and a scabbard hangs from her hip. That's fair. I've created a structure for myself. So like once a week, time allowing, I will play this game.
Anything I can help you with?
Well, that depends. Where exactly are we?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's
Yeah,
sometimes
this,
called Elysium.
I'm not looking at walkthroughs for this. Try to do it blind, but it certainly seems like a hell of a task to make a fact for this. Fishing village on the seashore, sometimes called Elysium. Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
The wind rattles her earrings. Ha. Okay, I do have questions. Starting with what's your name?
The name is Lilienne. People call me Netpicker.
She gestures to the
I think I
fishnets.
have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
I suppose.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
I'm looking. Actually, yeah, cool sword. You got a story about that sword?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story.
She smiles at her own joke.
It's to intimidate folks mostly.
Well, it is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
And what do you need to intimidate people with a saber for?
From time
Lilienne.
to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me,
She adds,
men
tittering.
need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. So where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their
Yeah.
lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed,
She looks down.
and one of them I ended up marrying.
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
Oh, gone where?
To the waves.
Her eyes stop in
The
yours.
sea took him. It was a long time ago.
Oh.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. A bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Yikes.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sin.
You should have thrown yourself in the waves after him, nod sagely. I'm not going to say that, but that's funny. I mean, yeah. It's healthy in a way to let go, to move on. You're still here. Got to keep those wheels moving.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy.
She crosses her
I
arms.
buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on.
No kidding. Yeah, me too. I drag my melancholy around with me all day, every day.
Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glances at the village where two little kids are playing with what look like rocks.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk.
Hey,
Ask her.
listen, electrochemistry part of my brain, you should know better than anyone. I'm 2 days sober.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Nope. We're looking for something. For someone. I'm sorry. And maybe you seem like you
Let's see.
look around.
Who are you looking for?
She tilts her head ever so slightly. I'm looking for a suspect in a crime who might have stayed in this neighborhood recently.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Well, she did. It would have been recently. Last few days. Might have, say, arrived on Friday.
Oh.
She looks slightly disappointed.
I've been out on the sea for
Shovel
most
it.
of the past week.
Welcome.
The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yes, that's the optimal
There's a
time.
4 in
Got
the
to make
morning
most
now?
of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after
Oh,
that.
hope that's
Sleep
going
really
well.
takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
I mean, that's it. For now, that's the only person I'm looking for.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
I guess not. I mean, you did assist me. And thank you. But, yeah. Have a good evening, Lilienne. What's this box? It's got some change in it. Now it's my change. Thought. Planks are creaking beneath my weight. Well, look, I'll be dropping some weight quickly if I can keep on this not drinking thing. Okay.
I'll just keep the Cordeleche in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
Hey, Joyce! She winds the mooring line around a post.
Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Hi, Joyce.
Hello, detectives.
She fastens the end of the line around the post and straightens her back.
It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
No kidding.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
Not even the church?
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Joyce, are you spying on us? You following us around?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here.
Yeah.
Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the Cordeleche red. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
Hey, we could find a compromise. Paint it pink.
What is this? Destruction of property, hooliganism, elder abuse.
That's just Cindy being Cindy. Just ignore her.
It's just as well. Lilienne and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent.
So, yeah. How do you like your new environs?
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze toward the village. Slush melting on the cinder blocks. Construction work left half finished 10 years ago.
Water drips down eaves of eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
Love that seaside dog shit smell.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men
Interesting
are dead
choice
or
of
missing.
adjectives.
And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
That part is maybe not fair to blame on the locals or the environs.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will.
I don't think she's
You
going
should
to
ask
kill
your
you with a sword,
questions while you
Joyce.
can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind
But just a
is
sword
too
for
loud her
intimidation.
to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
Yeah. Try not to be scared, Joyce. This is just what the real city looks like when you get away from your immaculate, polished paradise.
I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
She leans against the railing, looking up at the gray
It's
sky.
early spring, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splintering stocks, and swords, tens, if not hundreds. They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype McCoy, to his partner. They're digging
That's a
them up
cool
from
nickname.
the catacombs now, fixing them. Old caches from the Revolution. The children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded. Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches, flooded with cheap weapons in angry hands.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
The wind picks up. Her raincoat flaps in the gust. What? The fishing village?
No, they're in Celindian, Isla.
No. You have not told me that,
Well,
Joyce.
your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river.
I'm
50
literate,
years of
Joyce.
occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
The oblivion is definitely something I have in common with these folks.
I knew you would sympathize.
She nods.
Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place.
Yeah.
Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about something else, because it's getting late. Maybe some other day you can tell me about that thing. Like what you just said.
Of
Tell me
course.
later.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. How can I help you at this juncture?
I was hoping I'd have a dialogue option for saying, hey, Joyce, run me over to that island. But, hey, pretty cool. I found my badge. I am a real cop.
By love, you did.
She inspects the piece of blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right.
Fast, observantly, like an electronic printer.
Or that kind of lawn sprinkler.
She is memorizing your badge number.
Oh, got to file a report, Joyce?
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious.
Did you really need to see my badge to know that I'm a man of high qualification,
What
Joyce?
can I help you with, Lieutenant Frater?
I mean, I guess that's all for now. I was really hoping she'd be more helpful than that. What are these doing in the fish? Don't know what that means. Let's see. Are there spent bullets in this barrel? That would really, Nope. But the next best thing, change I can scrounge up. Allez-vous-en. Up. Pathfinding. Just make our way along, see if we find anything of note. Maybe inside this little shanty we can find nothing. There's nothing in here. Nice to get out of the rain for a minute. Take advantage of the fact that time is gentle when you're walking around to just look for stuff. Seems the walker was either very confused or drunk out of his mind. Sure. Underside of this boat has recently been tired. Oh, well, obviously we've been here. The ice just off the coast crackles, shifting. Bottle, drained of all its booze, is frozen in the
This is
ice.
it. The scene of the party. The fire pit. Cigarettes and empty bottles all evidence it.
Don't you mean the scene of the crime?
Not as such. I'm talking about what came after the party scene.
Yeah, sure does look like a lot of folks partied here.
Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point.
Oh,
Like
maybe
a
it was
goose
other
ice
people.
Sculpture or a
Hey, Kim.
chocolate fountain.
Looks like a couple of partygoers been
Looks
here.
like it.
Looks like they had a great time laughing.
Let's keep moving, detective.
He adjusts his glasses.
Somehow, he doesn't want to dwell on it.
Yeah. All right. I know, Lieutenant. You don't want to talk about this stuff. To the fullest extent that you can just focus on the good things about me, that's what you're trying to do, and I really appreciate that. So I shouldn't push you. I don't need to needle you about this shit. Hey, what's this? Is it one of the traps?
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before.
Ah.
Same mesh, same wire.
So that other time that it said the same one, it wasn't saying it's literally the same one.
Locusts
Check
are
the trap.
crawling around in the trap,
Yeah.
confused but uneaten.
Big surprise.
He grins
Anyway.
mirthlessly.
1 down. 3 to go.
Yeah. Damn. I was hoping to be in the first one.
No, you weren't.
He looks at the sea and then you, laying the trap back down on the ground. Just try and have a laugh, Lieutenant. Uh-oh. Or wait, am I just reading this wrong? Yes, I am. I think. Yeah, okay. Jacket! Hello! Yeah, neither of us have a hat. I nobly gave my hat away. Just trying to get a little redemption going. But okay. We're definitely going to have to go back down that way tomorrow morning. But after we do a quick check to see if we can find the thing, the filament, the backup of the failed game within a game project. We're all untethered or whatever it was called. Oh, hey, wait. Has our newfound jimmying tool unlocked the ability? Hey, there's Glasia, if that is her real name. She has so far kept her word. She's there and she's a-smoking on the balcony. But can I get in to Kuno's thing now that I've got this fancy multi-tool? Rigodeth, welcome.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
How will we get this open,
We
Lieutenant?
could try using a pry bar. The one you took from my motor carriage.
Or, Lieutenant?
Or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling
Ah.
in Rags. He probably has one.
Okay, yeah, let's just ask Art.
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea.
That's true. Did I just never look at that can while Kim was here? I don't know. Huh. I had not, until I looked just now, I was not picturing the multi-tool as being that enormous. How am I for time here? Dwindling, but not out of time. We'll kick off Thursday morning, most likely. Unless I get dragged into a really extensive conversation right now. On our way back. Don't know what we talked to Titus about. Here's our handsome young man friend.
Hi again, gendarme.
I need to bust my composure
Bye-bye,
up.
gendarme.
And, I mean, I got a ton of skill points. Ooh. I'm intrigued to find out. Oh no, I've hit the skill cap. I can't get any more composed. We're not going to figure out this young man. Unless... No. Wait. No. You can't level up your overall thing. Okay. C'est la vie. Restrictions are good. I've never found...
Oh,
and this is
hello,
not...
dear.
anyway.
There you are again.
I've never personally found it all that compelling to play a game where, like, it's all set up to be like, try all the content instead of like my choices feel like they're more important if they close doors for me as well as opening them. I ran into your husband.
Goodness, how is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet?
She clasped her hand together over the blanket.
He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken. Now he's just finishing up somewhere.
Oh, yes. That's my Morel. He's bound to catch a cold staying out there for so long.
Especially in the rain.
But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease, if even a little.
You haven't, however. There are dangers out there. Our aging body's foul. Her heart won't rest until Morel is safely back with her.
Well, hopefully he comes back. And you never told me that you had seen the Phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
No, come on. Come on. We got a minute.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Hold on. It was summer, but like, where and how long ago?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Ah.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories.
Just started.
Not the billowy haze of...
I mean, I guess.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this
Intellectual
could happen,
curiosity.
So I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me.
She looks at you.
After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
I guess that's where I would go if I was a camouflage as a reed being. Did you go with it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Well, geez. I guess it's honestly lucky that you didn't do something risky and get yourself drowned.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing.
She brushes her hair back.
Most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel. We were on our first date when I told him my story. You should have seen his face.
She smiles.
He said my descriptions match the phasmid down to a T. Its white marble limbs, the way it moved.
How about that?
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
This was what you talked about on a date?
Our first. Yes.
The old woman sighs tenderly. And the thing is, white limbs.
Not all of them, as far as I remember. Some of them on the inside, like stalks of marble, if that makes sense.
And you said it towered over you.
It's
How
hard to
big?
say how big things are when you're quite small yourself.
There you go.
To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Have you ever wondered if you just imagined it?
Of course. I've thought about it. But Morel says my report matches with the others. And I'm sure I hadn't heard of the phasmid as a child. Nor had my mother or my grandmother.
Well?
So how did I know what to imagine? It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena,
She lowers her voice, imitating a boy.
you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here.
She smiles.
They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Lieutenant, thoughts?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile. What a guy. Because you know that he finds this bullshit tedious. But he's just a kind person.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
But they also have experiences and can relay them truthfully. It can be tricky to know. Well, thank you, Lena, for sharing that.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just
She sighs. I guess I didn't need to
such
read
an
that narration.
impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere.
Can never be a kid again, but it's nice to remember. Well, that's all for now, Lena. Hey, Gart. It's your
Can I
favorite
help you?
guy. He arches an eyebrow. Well, let's start out by before I try to get the trash container out of him. Let's go all out in getting him on side, make him like us. First, put my bill.
The 20 real.
I got the 20 real. Haven't even pawned anything yet.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Yeah, I know all about how board works,
How could anyone forget, asshole?
but I'm not going to yell at you or hit you about it. Quiet, half-light voice in my head. Hey, Gart. You like a ruffled grouse?
What is this thing?
The man takes the stuffed bird. It's no biggie. Thought it might look nice on the wall. You know, I'm that kind of cop. Maybe I smash one of your birds, but then I find you another bird.
What, the interior decorating kind?
No,
You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy.
in between there, he inspected the bird, somewhat suspiciously, but then mellowed, because yeah, it's a nice bird.
I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess.
He hesitates.
So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
People just don't know how to accept gifts.
Especially taxidermy.
He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem. This was mostly about the fucking cardio. Massive cardio here. You'll live till 90, or you get a heart attack from running.
I don't know if our Harry Dubois is going to live till 90.
I feel good about our work here today.
Lieutenant nods.
It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
I know that you're needling me in a good-natured way, Lieutenant, but it is important to do nice things for people, especially when you're trying to purify your own soul. Gart, now that I've done you a favor and paid my bill, which is kind of like a favor, maybe you could do a favor for me. That trash container out there?
Mine? No, it belongs to the whirling in rags.
Guard. Yeah. Yeah, come on. Come on, Gart. Even with the broken wing now, you've got a display. You've got one bird who's like courageously protecting a wounded bird. It's an art piece now. But yeah, Gart, what I fucking meant when I asked you if it was your trap. Anyway.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
Oh.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
Makes sense.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
What's this feeling?
Prod at him and find out.
No. No, we don't need to piss him off. Just, Gart, we need the keys.
What do you need them for?
Do you think it may be because we're going to check if there's any evidence in the trash container near the...
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Yeah, of course. You work on figuring out what you're gonna do with that new bird. We'll be back. Kid, you know I'm not a waiter. Oh, I'd buy you a drink just because you have such a pretty mouth. Cedric! Welcome.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
Well, let's break it for no reason, even though we have the key. Now. Yeah, me too. I am glad. Things really, really picked up here as we're closing in on my unfortunately early hard stop time. For a while, I was like, well, I am technically streaming, so even though no one's in the chat, it's not that weird that I'm sitting in a room playing a video game by myself, talking out loud to the game.
With a well-oiled
But now it's just, it's definitely not weird now.
It should now be possible to simply raise the lid.
Sure, yep. There's no logic check for that.
Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
No. I had a premonition that there's something in there. I'm not going to argue with my own brain. Let's open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Oh, good. It's all gross in there, Kim.
We're just in time.
Lieutenant peers in.
Emptied for over a week.
All right, hold on. Move these boxes around.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar.
Oh, good. Maybe I've spent some time digging through trash while I was drunk.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles.
Nothing
of note, however.
Nothing. What about these filthy rags?
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Hey, free blue jeans.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
Nope. That's not garbage.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
Not that early.
Drop them in here, officer.
Lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Bag him.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty.
Lieutenant quickly searches the jeans.
He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but...
He looks into the container.
The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Hey, you're always prepared, Lieutenant. Bring in two.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Well, I mean, here's something slimy.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Revolting. And it's covered in pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of ribbed shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario.
He nods to himself.
Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that...
Throwing a towel, a mug. That's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one.
He nods towards the red-haired boy behind him.
Confronting that force.
Nah. So, I mean, we probably should ask the kids.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
I was obviously supposed to do this much earlier in the game.
See?
Yeah. Kim. Come on, we know these kids. We knew that they were shitty and unhelpful. You think someone might have been involved? Someone in the whirling?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Doesn't mean we shouldn't pull at it. Let's go.
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
You know what, though? What about this rotten-ass food?
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly.
Yeah, come on.
Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone.
Mr. Kuno, it's 2323. 2323 hours. Do you know where your children are? No, I don't. I don't care. Leave me alone. Throws a bottle.
Nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
Wait, what?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Hold on. There is something in this compost, Lieutenant. I mean, I guess it's not compost if they just put it in the general refuse.
Something larger.
They're not separating their waste
plastic
streams in
clipboard with
Revishal.
moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
No. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. So, yes, I was supposed to do this much earlier.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It
but
is.
Probably.
Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there.
Miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
I think that I didn't want to be a cop anymore. I mean, that would explain why I was throwing away I pawned my gun, Kim. I fucked up my car. I lost my badge.
Well,
he doesn't know what to say.
His eyes express a rare condolence.
Is it really that rare? He's been condoling me. But again, I was supposed to do this much earlier.
Lucky we found it. You should take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has not made it into the hands of the RCM's adversaries. Organized crime and the like. There might have been police secrets in your notes.
Yeah. I'll do it.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what you're eager.
Well, you've been taking the notes,
or
Kim.
Are we finished?
But again, I know.
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory.
Thank you, tutorial agent, but I know that.
Tab to read your paperwork.
Hey, free mug. Maybe it says world's best detective on it.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron.
Our pal over here.
Only in its social sensibility.
Interesting. Reminds
The lieutenant
me of
looks
the
at the
mug
mug.
collection we saw in our weasel's apartment. Maybe he or she has been dumping their garbage here.
Mm-hmm.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road.
That's true.
Or it may just be a coincidence. Either way, something to keep in mind.
That's true.
What else do you see?
Nothing. Nothing, Lieutenant. I see that I need to wash my fucking hands.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Got it. All right. Good for us. I mean, we can talk. Maybe we'll talk to Kuno later. Jeez, 23:30. Maybe we're not going to do any Thursday. Even without getting into what might have been alluded as a something coming my way to slow us down. Getting to Thursday anyway. Oh, hey. Jeez. Titus and the boys don't party that hard.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Well, well. Bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
Hey, not only, Gart, did I pay my board today, and I got you that bird, now I'm returning your key to you. I might have to call this favor in someday.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
Well, yeah. Found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Could someone on your staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and as I've said before, I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Well, who else has the keys to the trash container then, Gart?
The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
I don't see why either, Gart.
The elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road.
Well, hopefully that's still possible, Lieutenant Kim, even though we didn't start tugging on this thread on Monday like we were obviously intended to.
Thank you anyway.
Yeah. Thanks, Gart. Let's talk about something else.
Yes?
I guess goodbye. Take care. Well, let's try. Let's try talking to Kuno. See if he has any insight. Or any new configurations of the F slur to hurl at me.
Kuno's like Kuno's
Nope.
dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything.
All right, Kuno, but do you... Adolescent rebellion is going to be great for Kuno.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
You care. Don't lie to me, Kuno. I know you care about me. I know we're buds. Are we done with these, Lieutenant? We've already stared at the footprints enough, huh?
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Well, I like my odds of figuring this out.
8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots?
Of course.
That's right. The
Of
Hardy
course.
Boys in the mess hall of Welling and Rags.
All right. I'm in my mind palace. Let's be thorough. Lieutenant.
1. Standard
Magic at work.
Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick. Titus Hardy. The one with the bald cap on his head.
Wait, hold on. Is there's some marking in between the two boot marks that... No. Okay. Interesting.
Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even too easy.
Well, I mean, they just admitted to it. They weren't trying to hide it because that's...
Standard
Anyway.
work boot.
Yeah.
Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck.
Kid with a pick.
3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 43. The inked banger, perhaps.
Maybe. Should have taken note of more of these
4.
people's names.
Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print.
What else?
5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. Same as before. Either the musician, Eugene, or the muscle-bound blonde, Glenn.
I didn't realize Glenn was muscular.
6. Light as air. Same make of boot, but number 41. Small like a rat. Shanky.
Why am I doing this on day 3? I really should get to this
Better
earlier.
late than never, detective.
Sure.
The whole world is dark.
That's
and
right.
the tracks burn in it with strange.
Forget regret.
7.
Or life is yours
The
to
glowing
waste.
outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus. Carrying something?
Or someone. And the last one?
8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious. A missing 8th Hardy Boy.
Well, maybe we'll figure that out. Hey, gained a level.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here.
8, Lieutenant. But don't feel bad. You're not a double refractor like me.
That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary?
Perhaps Ruby?
Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus.
No shit.
Where's the 8th man?
Shame we just missed them. Hopefully we can ask them on Thursday.
A leader like Titus doesn't let one of his guys out of sight easily, especially at a time like this.
Well, check this out. We got a light step here, number 41 shoe.
I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy Boy. The one with his front teeth missing.
Yeah. The rat-faced one?
Yes, well, he did look a bit like a rat. You're right. Do you think those prints belong to him?
And like, Lieutenant, when you think about it, if a guy looks so much like a rat that he looks like a rat when he's missing his front teeth, like, that's a rat man. Yeah, those are his
I
prints.
could still be wrong, but I'm probably not.
No, we're not wrong. Neither of us. We agree, Lieutenant. Check it out. Heavy one. Angus?
200. This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up.
Yep.
Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was a fat Hardy Boy, the one sitting in the middle.
Yeah, Angus.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
It's not impossible. But yeah, I do think that's what it was.
Probably yes. This
'Cause we-
would also fit
like,
with the victim being dead from a previous
doing a
gunshot
rough,
wound.
lazy
They had to carry him
conversion.
because he could no longer walk.
Talking like 440 pounds. That's not impossible, but that's not likely. We haven't seen anyone who fits that bill. And why would they call Fat Angus Fat Angus? They had a dude who had like 130 pounds on Angus.
We're liking this. The pieces fit.
Is there anything else that's noteworthy here?
Well, check it out. This person's shoes. One sole is smoother.
Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy Boy. Wonder who he is.
Is it even necessarily a he, Lieutenant?
Oh, this one's easy. Way too easy. It's a driver.
It's the driver, eh? Right shoe goes down before the left because the accelerator's on the right. We found that abandoned lorry cabin.
With a piece of sandpaper glued to the throttle.
Lieutenant adjusts his glasses as his eyes light up with excitement. You're
Which
feeling
means
it.
that the missing lady driver was also present at the lynching? That's it.
Yeah.
She's the Old Soul.
I didn't even need the dialogue options to tell me this is not a person. There's no denying it. Ruby really is running a complex operation out of her lorry, huh?
She is. And now we have concrete evidence binding everything together. We should ask Titus about this.
Mm-hmm. Well, for whatever it's worth, there's no horizontal boot prints, so whoever went into the pinball workshop didn't walk here.
No. These prints are pretty standard. The ones in the dust looked custom. Or maybe they're just a foreign design. It's a boot print, whatever the case.
Yep. So what do you think? Timelines line up here?
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
Very true.
It is not impossible.
Okay, how you know?
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Ravers. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
The last footprint making day, as opposed to footprint preserving day, huh?
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
So what do you think? Does this change anything about our theory, Lieutenant?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
A fake lynching, as we know.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
But we know the victim had a bullet in his head. A more precise way to put it is, it was made to look like a lynching.
Yeah, so we've been purposely misled.
By these tracks? Yes.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's all there is. But it's coming together, Lieutenant. It's all coming together. How's my thinking going? Oh, geez. If I get lost in my, if I pop open my ledger, we might get this thought closed off tonight. How am I for time? I am at, like, gotta wrap up time. So, indeed, it's probably just going to be, this is the end of Wednesday. I mean, like, first thing in the morning is a pretty good, like, start the session at that time in the game time. So, anyone else I could talk to? No, this guy doesn't actually get into a conversation. Let's head up here. So, is the lieutenant going to actively be like, all right, time for us to go to bed? Like he did the first time? I mean, probably. But let's take a look at my ledger. And what's this? Oh, I can interact with the racist
It's
mug.
just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's lots to read into here. Come on, look at the content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
I mean, the mug's an example of prejudice. Is it? Well, hold on. Oh, I mean, yes, but hold on. Yeah. Yeah. To me, this is a shining example of how not to behave.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective.
Well, what if our racist mug collector is the one with secret access? Okay. I can see you're skeptical of me. I still haven't mailed that thing. The lieutenant said he saw a post box, but I did not see it.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Urinal? Hey, it could be much sadder. Smelling like the urinal cleaner is not the worst thing. Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Fuck off, self-esteem.
Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
No, I'm not afraid. I'm going to look right into the heart of this toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
And I will.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better.
Well, it's gross. What
An
about the clip?
aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Let's see if I can get some of that intuition going. Touch. Run my finger on the aluminum.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
What kind of sticker did I put on my
Looks like
thing?
an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
Lieutenant, what's this sticker?
What?
He's lost in his
Nothing.
own notes. Takes a
It's
moment.
a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
And how can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
And the right wavelength?
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
Okay.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Yeah, I get it. Thank you, interfacing check. What kind of information do they store with
It
these?
depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Ah, so it probably doesn't say where my gun got to.
Maybe yours
Why
will
would it?
have how many cases you've solved.
Yeah.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Yeah, probably. Okay. It's enough about this clip.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Yeah, Kim should just be. You know what? Yet another admirable thing about Lieutenant Kitsuragi is he's not constantly working references into the hubcaps that he pawned for me into our conversations. Let's look at the white
They're
papers.
not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches.
So how can I tell them from the yellow
alcohol
papers?
And covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What's in there? What are they?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Lieutenant, when someone is doing 2 cases a week, is that a healthy load?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Well, I mean, what if you are, you've destroyed your personal life, you don't really have any other distractions, and you drink a lot, do some amphetamines, stay focused? Okay.
Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to
Sorry to cut you
January
off, narrator,
51.
but time is short.
Stamped.
Naming
Yes.
convention?
It appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
And in all caps.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
What are they?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Ukar parlor. Even
not
the
that.
rare article free.
What's lighthearted about that?
Tenement. Murder features prominently throughout.
Well, I'm murder, please.
You like this grimy murdering, don't you?
No, I like solving the
No,
murders.
you don't. You're a human measuring instrument, almost entirely intellectual.
Well, that's not true either.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, is it normal to be coming up with catchy names for the
mean
cases?
alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean like the literary titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that? Just pass the time?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
Oh, yeah. I called one of these the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
I think mine sounds funnier than yours.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him? I guess someone shot him in the head.
Rail spike through the head.
Oh.
Died. It was a workplace accident.
Oof. Yikes. Let's see. Do I have space to open a new case in here?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Oh-ho.
Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
All right. Let's commit to paper.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the pen in a brash freehand
Yeah.
similar to the rest of
Several.
the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple.
Should have called it the man with an
Language developed for mental
additional
rigor and
hole in his
simplicity.
head.
Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down.
Mm-hmm.
Interview the cafeteria manager.
Let's cross these out as we go.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, do we have an official name for this case yet?
No, actually. Any ideas?
Well, it's not my best work, Lieutenant, but all my other ideas are stupid. So what have we just called it? The Hanged Man. I think it should be the Hanged Man ... question mark.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now.
Are you making fun of me, Lieutenant?
I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted
Oh,
it
no.
out.
No, he's happy. All right. Well, case
You
files.
don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Great stuff. Can I figure these out now?
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric.
It's as close as you can get to auto failure without
It
failing.
always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120.
In the past, this could have helped me figure out who I am.
00. The next world mural.
How long does it take me to read one of these
It
cases?
takes about half an hour to piece one together using the system you've devised.
This isn't
Where
important
do
right
you
now.
want to start?
No,
Not much
no.
has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden paper still sags from the clipboard.
The Curious Case of Kuno in the Nighttime. Let's browse
In
the
back,
yellowed
you see
papers.
thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like
Oh, great.
marching armies. These look like official forms waiting to be filled out.
We got forms to
Then
fill out.
rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms.
Well,
each is easy enough to make sense of.
we can deal with this shit later.
The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Great news. We'll deal with the rest of that later. Because... Okay, can I just say, hey, Lieutenant, you ready for bed? Lieutenant.
Yes?
No. If I just go to bed while he's here, see you in the morning. Okay, yep. That's what I was hoping we would do, Lieutenant.
The bed is still
You take
cold
care.
from the broken window and not too inviting, but it's yours.
All
You've
right.
earned it.
Whatever Thursday has, throw it at me.
It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what feel like weeks of work on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel you might be sleeping.
Okay. Okay. It's coming together.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those
I'm sorry,
names,
reptilian brain, but I might have to
all
start
that
skipping your dialogue if you're going to read it this
screaming
slowly.
and scheming around every corner and every street.
Go on, lizard brain.
Recorded in you forever on ferrotape.
Spinning in eternity.
On and on it goes for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars.
Yeah. This is exactly what I need to start remembering the first time I asked her to
Behold,
dance.
There are millions of them down there.
The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the potted flowers, the faces, turning, changing. What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're
I'm sorry,
made
limbic
of
system,
it.
but fuck off.
Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now.
Yeah.
You can never forget this shit.
The rain, the snow. Listen, I don't want to forget. I don't need to.
Beautiful.
It is what it
It's
is.
stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harristar, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Yep.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
Yeah, that's right. I'm an agent in the world. Of the
You'll
world.
go
Part of the world.
insane if you keep going like this. One more day.
I'm sorry, Brain. I
and
can't listen to
you'll
this.
be in the
He just knows I will.
bin.
And for what, brother man?
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Time for some mindfulness. I'm gonna feel the pillow under my cheek.
Beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
I successfully slept for 3 hours
Do it
last
for
night.
the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
Wakey, wakey. It's Thursday, baby. It had to happen eventually. Come on, Harry. Boom. He's up. Just to make sure that the game is saved, we save it. Some progress in the investigation, some progress with other things, and a ton of fun ahead regardless, because that's just what this game is like. I'm always enjoying it, even when I'm muddling around the edges. So hey, cool. That's it. Yeah. What's coming up? What's on the horizon? No Greg and James this week, but maybe if my work resolves. Oh wait, no. The reason there's no Greg and James, I was about to say maybe I'll do something in that time slot. I'm the reason that we can't do Greg and James this week because I got a work thing. So I don't know. It's going to be a busy week, so I don't want to even tease out the prospect of an off-schedule other evening stream. But oh goodness, we're getting so close to the time in my life when I can do things like that, and we'll be doing more and have more fun here. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are too. Come Friday night for us, Steven. We're in the middle of the second last scenario of Rich's Pain Conduit's personal quest. It's really cool. We're enjoying it. We're probably going to lose this first try, but maybe we'll win. Who knows? We have to last 12 rounds. We've lasted 6 so far. We're in rough shape. We'll find out what happens. At any rate, sometime soon, Rich is going to retire the Pain Conduit and become the Savas Pyroclast. And so he's excited about that because the Pyroclast sounds like Rich's original character in Gloomhaven, the Savas Craigheart, except instead of just a rock guy, He's a lava guy. So that's exciting. So we're doing that next Saturday. Probably just me and not Jamie Rose, my drag persona. And if it's me, I'll be playing Space Quest 6, The Spinal Frontier. I wound up ending yesterday in the middle of having just discovered a logic elimination puzzle in the manual that you have to solve in the game. But I couldn't solve it in real time, mainly because I was too lazy to go get a notepad. Between now and then, I'm going to try to just get in a notepad, solve that puzzle so we can just get moving next time when we play next Saturday. And then before you know it, it'll be Sunday, and I'm not sure if I'll be playing Disco Elysium. I forgot to ask Danielle, who is the only one who knows what the schedule for my birthday celebration is on Sunday, because I am turning 40. How did this happen to me? It doesn't matter. Young forever, baby. But yeah, next March 23rd. It'll have been 40 years since I was born. So if there's time, it'll probably be earlier time, I think. But I don't know. I have no idea what I have a small idea of what it might be that I'm putting together. But I don't want to even develop that thought too much, because whatever Danielle's put together, it sounds cool. Everyone seems to think I'm going to enjoy it. So why come up with an idea and risk feeling disappointed if it's not that, but it's something cool? So I don't know. I'm going to find it. But if it allows me to also play some Disco Elysium on my birthday, then I will. And we'll play together. And if not, then it'll be torture to wait for another 2 weeks to keep playing this great game. I'm excited. Like, it sounds like fun, even though it sounds technically like nothing, because like I don't know anything. But I'll tell you about it once I know what it was. But I'm excited. And also, as I've been saying, life begins at 40. So, geez, my life's about to begin. Been waiting 40 years for that to happen. So, cool. At some point, we're getting back to this. And I'm freaking psyched to find out what happens next. Because that's how I felt every single time we finished playing this game. If I could have, if I had the time to just be like, all right, we're doing another 8-hour Disco Elysium stream today, I would have knocked this out in like a week or whatever and had a great time. I'm enjoying it just as much this way, but oh man, the waiting is the hardest part. So maybe next week, hopefully, but if not, the week after, we're gonna have a great time. So yeah, that's it. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, you can't hear my voice, but I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, when we're waking up and shaking it off together, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.